I was born with nerve damage in my right shoulder, and then I became a personal trainer. So, in this video, I want to share with you how I overcame my fear of going to the gym and then the biggest life lesson that I learned along the way to get to where I am today. If you're new here, welcome, and thanks for spending your time here with me. My name's Noah, and I've been a full time personal trainer for the last 5 years after graduating from my bachelor's of kinesiology. And I'm just trying to cut through all the BS that's out there and simplify fitness so that you can get in shape in the easiest way possible. And if that sounds good to you, let's get right into it. First, we need to talk about the fear of going to the gym, which, if you're just starting out, is probably something that you've felt. And it's something that I'm very familiar with because of the nerve damage in my shoulder. I think for me, I was just afraid of being judged for doing things differently or not knowing what I was doing. And because of my arm, I can't lift as much even now for the typical guy my age that goes to the gym. So I was pretty self conscious about that too. And I know that a lot of my clients have had a similar feeling when they start out. Or even worse, they let that feeling stop them from going to the gym altogether or even doing at home workouts because they're just scared of that uncomfortable feeling. And I do have a couple of more specific tips that can help with that. But the biggest thing is just doing that thing you're uncomfortable with. So if you're uncomfortable going to the gym, the biggest thing that's going to get you over that fear is just going to the gym. And I know that's pretty shitty advice, but the reality is the more you go, the more comfortable you're going to get, and the more you're going to realize that no one really cares what you're doing. But the first thing that really helped me when I was getting started was just working out at home. And I'm pretty sure that's why I'm so passionate about doing in home personal training sessions now. But by working out at home, it let me get comfortable adapting the movements the way I needed to for me without feeling like I was going to be judged for doing things differently. And you don't have to have a lot or even any of equipment when you're first starting out. When I was starting out, I was just using my body weight to do exercises. And then as I needed it, I slowly bought more and more equipment to the point where now I actually do have a pretty nice home gym. But if home workouts aren't an option for you for whatever reason, then going to the gym with a friend can definitely help. I know for me, if I wasn't going to the gym with a friend when I started, I don't know that I would have ever got comfortable going. Or if I did, it would have taken me so much longer to get to the point that I'm at today. There's just something about being in it together and not being all up in your head with your thoughts that makes it so much easier to go when you're with somebody. And that's going to get you more comfortable going to the gym, which makes you realize it's not actually that bad. And eventually you're going to get to the point where you can go on your own. Then the last couple of things that can help if you don't have a friend to go with, and they're pretty similar, so I'm going to group them together, is one, finding a quieter gym to go to that's just not as busy, or not going at peak times, which I get isn't possible for some of you. Or if that's not ideal, you can find a quieter spot in the gym. Because when you're just starting out, you might be able to just take a dumbbell to a quieter corner instead of having to do your exercises right in front of the dumbbell rack where there's probably a lot more people. And before I move on, I do want to be fully transparent and say that I do most of my workouts at home now. Not that there's anything wrong with the gym, but because I've built up a pretty nice home gym, it's just how I prefer to train. And I'll flash a picture up on the screen so that you can see what it looks like. But there's just something to me about the convenience of having it in my basement and not needing to wait for equipment that I prefer. But the tips that I'm giving you in this video are what got me comfortable going to the gym to the point now where if I need to go to the gym to do a workout for whatever reason, I'm fully comfortable going. And that's the point where I want to get you to. Now, I want to tell you a story of the biggest lesson that I've learned working in the real world. That way, you know I'm not full of BS and you know it actually works. So, when I was about 16, I started getting into baseball. And I played house league for the last couple of years to that point. And I looked pretty unique on the field because of my arm. I basically had to slingshot the ball because I can't really bend my elbow the same way that most people do. Then, when I was 18, for my last season of youth baseball, I decided to go to the elite tryouts. And for those of you that don't know how the levels work, elite is the highest level possible. So that's quite the jump in quality. And I knew it was pretty much impossible for me to make that team because honestly, I wasn't that good. But I just wanted to go to see how I'd fare. And you might think that I was being judged or even laughed at for doing things differently or not being as good as the guys that play at that level. But the opposite actually happened. And again, I wasn't good enough to make that team, but I did get a lot of respect from the guys at that level for just showing up and competing at my best. I even remember one of the guys saying it's amazing how I'm able to slingshot the ball with my arm the way that I do. And I'm telling you this because I want you to know that people don't judge you or hate you for doing things differently. A lot of them will respect you or even admire you for trying and being positive versus being negative all the time. So if you're scared of going to the gym because you're scared of being judged, I want you to know that the gym is a community of people trying to better themselves. And if you're trying to better yourself, you belong because those are the kinds of people that aren't going to judge you for taking action. They're going to respect you. And that's regardless of how out of place you feel when you start out. Because we all started with that same feeling. And trust me when I say, the more you go, the more comfortable you're going to get going. And eventually you'll just go without even thinking about it. If you have any questions, comment them down below because I do answer all of my comments. And if you want some more beginner fitness tips, you'll probably like this video here. And if you're still here, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate you. Until next time.